I was born beneath a sky that never asked permission. The den was carved into the side of a hill, half dirt, half root, smelling of milk, rain, and the warm breath of bodies pressed together. My world began as darkness and heartbeat, my siblings wriggling like shadows, with hunger for names we didn't yet have. Our mother's fur is the first map, the path between ribs, the hill of her shoulder, the safe hollow beneath her neck. She was mountain and moon and law. When I opened my eyes, the world was already watching. Light came in like a stranger's hand, cold, curious, uninvited, and I learned that everything that shines is also something that can burn. The pack's alpha male, our father, came only sometimes. When he did, he brought food and silence. He looked at us not as individuals, but as the future of a pattern older than his bones. I am a wolf. My life is a long conversation with distance. The forest is my teacher. It speaks in the grammar of sound and scent. Every leaf has a memory, every stone keeps score. The wind writes letters across my fur that only I can read. I can smell the story of a deer 2 hours gone and know the direction of its heart. I can hear the crack of a single branch and tell whether it is hunger or fear that caused it. Sound, for me, is not just what fills the air. It's how I measure time. The creek mutters in one season and sings in another. Ravens gossip above the tree line, their words oily with humor and threat. Even snow has a sound, a small sigh when it breaks beneath the weight of my paw. Silence, though, is the purest teacher. Silence means everything that matters is listening. We wolves do not own the forest, though some believe we rule it. Ownership is a human fantasy. We belong to it, as ribs belong to the heart they protect. The trees mark our borders better than any map. Moss remembers our paws. The stars are our census. I have hunted, yes. Hunger is the closest thing to truth in the world. It does not lie or flatter. It asks, and you answer with teeth. I have felt the rush of a chase, the clean geometry of pursuit. The deer leaps, and my muscles remember what my ancestors built them for. The forest watches without judgment. It does not choose sides between the leaper and the lunging. It loves the motion itself. But hunting is not cruelty. The kill is not glory. It is continuity, the joining of breath to breath. When we bring down the deer, we do not feast first. We wait. We honor. The pack eats by rank and ritual. Every rib stripped of meat is a hymn. Every howl after is a grace. There are 5 of us now. We move like a single organism, 5 shadows with one heartbeat. I know them, as I know the rhythm of my own breath. The beta, lean and clever, reads the ground better than most read the sky. The young one runs ahead too often, all legs and impatience. The old female carries the scent of snow even in summer. She has seen more winters than my teeth have scars. And our alpha, he walks like gravity, his eyes the color of decisions. We follow the elk herds across the mountain passes. Migration is our scripture. The earth itself shifts beneath their hooves, and we read that motion like priests interpreting divine tremors. Sometimes at dusk, when the sky blushes with exhaustion, we lie on a ridge and watch them move below. 1,000 lives, threading the same half we will one day walk in silence. The wind carries the musk of their sweat, the pulse of their purpose. I feel no hatred, only belonging. I have seen humans. You come into the forest like noise wearing skin. You smell of metal and oil and fear, pretending to be bravery. You bring with you your strange fire that eats the dark, but never learns to sleep. You build walls that believe in permanence, and yet, every time the wind rises, your scent dissolves. I have watched your headlights sweep across the snow at night, bright and blind. chasing the idea of destination. Once, I stood at the edge of a clearing and saw a man with a rifle. He did not see me, though he wanted to. His breath came fast, his eyes wide with something between hunger and regret. I left before he could decide which. Sometimes, I find your leftovers in the snow. Wrappers, bones, the things you don't love enough to keep. You leave your marks everywhere, but never seem to know where you are. And yet, I do not hate you. You too are animals, though you've forgotten how to listen to the dirt. You mistake silence for emptiness and loneliness for truth. Still, I have seen you kneel by streams and look up at stars. In those moments, you are almost wolves again. Winter tests us all. Snow is a god that demands reverence. We move less, conserve heat, speak only in necessary breaths. Hunger becomes a second heartbeat. When the storm comes, we huddle close, our bodies a single flame against the cold. The alpha stands watch at the cave mouth, his fur rimed with frost, his breath shaping ghosts in the air. Sometimes, in that stillness, I think of death. Not with fear, but with familiarity. Death is just the echo of living, the space life makes for itself to continue. In spring, the world reopens like a wound that has decided to heal. Rivers forget their ice, and the air tastes of mud and birth. We run again, we sing again. A hunt succeeds, and the pup of the old female takes his first real meal. He growls at his reflection in a puddle, certain it's an enemy. We laugh, the sound sharp and joyous. It's good to remember that even in a life measured by hunger, there can be laughter. Now, as I walk the ridgeline at dusk, my paws leave temporary notes in the frost. The wind erases them before morning, and that is as it should be. Permanence is for stones, purpose is for breath. The forest hums with the same old story. It begins with hunger and ends with silence, and everything between is grace. I am a wolf. My world is made of movement, scent, and memory. I have known fear, and I have known the joy that runs beside it. I have been both the hunter and the haunted. I do not ask for peace. I ask for the chance to keep walking, to keep singing into the night until the world answers back one last time.